Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to delve into this Gordino or Moore's algorithm as cited by Justice Nyang'aya. So, ladies and gentlemen, day 2 of the court submission was full of submissions into the mystery regarding illegal access of IBC to intercept uploaded forms.
It came out that somewhere, somehow, in the current suburb, there was a group of about 50 people who had access to the ICT systems of IBC, whereby they were intercepting results before they were uploaded on the public portal. When that was put out and the responses first came, that suggestion was rubbished. But in further evidence, I will demonstrate to the court that it now turns out that that is probably and most likely what happened and what created this entire mess that is called the election results of the 2020-22 presidential election.
So from the video, Philip Mugo, one of the advocates for Raila Amolo Odinga, and in specific reference to Justice Nyang'aya's affidavit, gave an account on how Gudino Omor stayed on the IBC server for close to 85 days. Take note, 85 days. And also he narrated how Muhammad Abdullahi made more than 1,000 access on Form 34As. For what? I'm not going to delve into reason why he had to make more than 1,000 accesses to those forms. That is left for the court to determine. And also, on the same note, the courts were told how Form 34As kept changing format from JPEG to PDF. PDF, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is a portable document format. It's a format for a document. While the Form 34As were captured on the KIMS kits, they took the format of a JPEG. But on the receiving end, it is alleged that they were on a PDF format. Now, when it's on a PDF format, from what George said in one of those interviews in mainstream stations, he said that the moment the forms changed format, they lost their metadata. And he referred metadata to something like a DNA. A DNA gives details about you, your parents, some age, unexpected age, and everything. So DNA gives that. So the metadata is an equivalent of DNA, but on the document, the Form 34A. So by metadata, by the virtue of the fact that metadata could not be seen at the other end of the PDF document of the same form, already rose suspicions as to the source and the authenticity of those digital forms.
In the case of George Njoroge, whose affidavit is on record, whose CV is on record, a computer forensic expert with wide-ranging experience in investigating all manner of crimes, including those involving terrorism through investigating the IT aspect. In his affidavit dated 28th August 2022, he has attached his detailed audit and analysis report of IBC results transmission system and operating system log files. And I emphasize that amongst those he analyzed are the logs annexed to the affidavit of Justice Nyang'aya, who is the 6th respondent.
So the question that Justice Mokinwanjala and Deputy CJ Philomena Mwilu kept asking is whether the document retained the same entries and the same format when received at the National Tallying Center and IBC portal. That statement is self-explanatory, dear viewers. So Kenyans were also reminded that Chebukati did not gazette the super admins, and also at one point it was brought to the attention of Kenyans that ghost returning officers were created in the system with ghost tallying stations. And at one point, there was an interview where it was alleged that in particular polling stations, the votes were only for the presidential candidate. So the question was, in that area, wasn't there a gubernatorial candidate? Wasn't there a senatorial candidate? All these other positions? Because the votes were only cast for the presidential aspirant or the candidates. That is again something that the courts will determine. We are not required to discuss into those details. I'm just giving you an update, dear viewers. And the other thing that kept bothering many people, Kenyans and the courts at large, is if there are 22 million registered voters, as gazetted by IEBC and a specific reference CHEBUKATI, then the question is, if in each polling station it is supposed to be a maximum of 700 voters, and it is alleged that we have 46,000 plus polling stations, and if my maths is correct and my maths add up, then 22 million divided by 700 votes does not give me 46,000 polling stations. Instead, it gives me 31,428 polling stations. That's the proper calculations as for the 22 million registered voters, ladies and gentlemen. Take a calculator, divide 22 million by 700, you will get the answer. So the question that again comes to our mind is, why did CHEBUKATI gazette 46,000 polling stations? What is happening to the rest of close to 15,000 polling stations? What happens? What votes are in maybe those justified in those polling stations? So CHEBUKATI could be reading from polling stations of different countries because the maths do not add up. His maths doesn't add up. So Philip Mugor gave account on the ICT part, and he narrated and cited even Joe Gidongo's affidavit, whereby you remember in our previous analysis, John Gidongo had a visitor, one of those perceived illegal access gentlemen, the people who accessed the IBC server illegally. One of them tried to illustrate or demonstrate to John Gidongo how IBC system can still be accessed, could still be accessed, and he made it clear that IBC system was infiltrated. He gave an illustration. So that reason made Joe Gidongo made two affidavits. He filed two affidavits. One is a late that was filed around on the date of 28th, but one was previously, I think 2 to 3 days before. So Philip Mugor made a reference to that affidavit, made reference to Justice Nyangaya's affidavit, where Justice Nyangaya talked about the report that KPMG released, also talked about the Murgor as one of those the people who accessed the system. And you remember I started by saying close to 85 days. Someone must have logged in for close to 85 days. That is Gudino Omor. So I personally think this Gudino Omor, because the information that we have is that he could be one of those tech experts of Smartmatic International BV, holding BV, I mean. So it could be that, could this Gudino Omor, who was not gazetted as one of those super admins, be a programmer who was responsible for coming up with an algorithm that could alter those vote forms so that anytime you upload a JPEG form, it picks the form, does particular manipulations, and then uploads a PDF document. because maybe probably it could not get a JPEG format, and probably the easiest format is a PDF. I've not done my research whether it's possible for someone to automatically generate a JPEG, but PDF is much possible. The portable document format, PDF. Ladies and gentlemen, I am trying to restrain myself from more discussions on these proceedings because we are not allowed to do that. So, or the best I can do is just to update you, my viewers, so that we keep ourselves informed. So now, if you are a viewer who have not subscribed, please take a moment and subscribe to our channel. Like I said yesterday, I am still grateful, so humbled by the fact that we could hit 10,000 on Monday. That was a big milestone to Yoleno TV, and I still urge you to continue sharing our channel, continue subscribing if you haven't subscribed, and please always keep safe and stay blessed.